Hey folks, Fernando doing a video for the Modern Survivalist, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Rovivon Aurora series, which is this little flashlight that I have right here. It is 650 lumens in what is basically a KeyChain flashlight, not all that different from the previously reviewed Nightcore model Tiki. This is actually the original one that started with this format of flashlight. The Nightcore kind of copied it from them, but it is an amazing little flashlight, KeyChain flashlight of 660 lumens. Before we go on, remember you have my books available on the links below, Street Survival Skills and the Modern Survival Manual. Folks, given everything that's going on, I just cannot recommend my books enough. I know that it's quite obvious that I would be recommending my own work, but you just want to get ready for the heightened level of awareness that is going to be required for the coming months, maybe the coming years, given everything that's going on. You don't need me to repeat it yet again, but you're going to be reaching the point in which all of these little details, all of these little things of, do I have a little pocket gun? Do you have an actual firearm that I can actually use as to defend myself from a crowd? Do I have a mini flashlight that has a lot of power and can get me out of a complicated situation? All of these little things that used to not matter nearly as much, now that bar is going up, and it's getting higher and higher, and the better prepared you are, the more likely you are to navigate successfully through these tough times. So again, Street Survival Skills, this is my latest book and the one I wrote specifically for this kind of thing, the kind of knowledge that you usually would acquire from living in crappy places most of your life. You know, if you come from a third world country, a lot of this is kind of obvious. Even then, my book in Spanish, this same one that I translated to Spanish, it is the best-selling survival book in Amazon.es and Amazon.com as well. That's because people from Latin America in general have really appreciated the kind of information that I share with you folks here. And if those guys appreciate it, believe me, you want to learn it as well. So keep that in mind. Let's get to it. I love these things. These are fantastic. I love the way in which the technology has been improving over the years. As I usually say, I don't change stuff all that much unless I see a huge leap in technology. This would be one of those cases. Remember the days when Surefire G2 was the tactical flashlight? These were 100 lumens, guys. You're talking about 600 lumens in a flashlight that you carry in your keychain, basically. So let's get this out of the box, and I'll leave the links below for my books and for the flashlights there if you can buy these in Amazon, which I encourage you to do. Of course, that's from the affiliate program, by the way. It leaves a small percentage, a small cut for the channel. Doesn't affect you in the least. The price is the exact same, but it helps out, and that's much appreciated. So you have the little flashlight right here, and you have a couple of goodies that come along. You have the micro USB port for charging the flashlight. The flashlight uses a tiny lithium-ion battery like a cell phone, and you charge it with this cable or any other micro USB. And you have a couple of nice accessories here. You have the split ring, which is good quality, I'd say, much better than the one that came with the Nightcore, which was a nightmare to get in place, and a clip, because this is a flashlight ideal for using in a baseball cap, given how tiny and light it is. It would be ideal for that sort of thing in some of the lower modes. So it's using a Nichia LED, which is a little bit more blue-ish than your typical Cree. So just to give you an example, here I have the Cree from the Nightcore, and this is the kind of color you can come to expect from it. You know, this is a bit more white, a little bit more of a pasty color there on the pages, and this is from the Rovivon, right? I don't know if you get to appreciate it. It has a lightly, a little bit of a bluish tint to it. Some of the sides. The thing is, Nichia gets this to be so bright because of the kind of LED that they make. I don't think you would be getting, you're going to be more like 300, 400 lumens with your Cree. If you want to have that kind of color, with the Nichia, you have that extra brightness, but you sacrifice in terms of a little bit of that tint. So 650 lumens with that first press, and you keep it pressed, and you have those 600 lumens. Now, you double click on it and it goes on, and you go with the one that you used last. I think this is the moonlight mode, and you click again low, medium, and high, and back to moonlight. And if you triple click, you go into strobe mode, and long press, you turn it off. It has a memory mode, so it's going to be remembering the last one that you used for more than 3 minutes, which is a nice feature. I find that to be quite convenient, so as to customize to my own personal taste. I like this maximum press, as long as you keep it pressed, you have that burst of light, and when you need something more basic, you just double click on it and you go into that moonlight mode, which is often enough. And if it's not enough, you just click on it again and go into the low mode, which is likely to be enough. So what we have here is the different lumens you have. So it's going to be moonlight, which is 2 lumens for 30 hours. You have low, which is 20 lumens for 8 hours. Medium is going to be 1.5 to 95 minutes. That's because it's going to be stepping down when it's too hot. 95 minutes, and medium and high is going to be 75 minutes. High 75 minutes, and that's only for the first minute and a half, because then it steps down, because this just gets too hot. It is just too much power for its own good, in a sense, because it's too bright and it gets too hot. So after a minute and a half, steps down so as to not burn you. But that's basically the amount of runtime that you have in these. And for recharging, you just connect it, and it's gonna be blinking, or like blinking in a blue light that's from here. And when it's done, it just stops blinking, and you know that it's fully charged. Let's take a look and see how this actually looks in the dark. So we start testing with the moonlight mode. As you see, very low, but just enough so as to move around. This is low. And we go with the medium and high. So basically, that's what you can expect from this little flashlight. As you see, it hasn't got a lot of throw, and that is just understandable given the size of this thing. You just don't have any room here for a reflector, given how minimal this is. Again, guys, KeyChain flashlight. This, you have to hold it in your hand to see how minimal it is. It's the sign of your pinky finger, even smaller. So given how small it is, no reflector here, so as to have, or basically a minimal one, so as to basically throw light in that direction, but it's not going to be focusing. It's not a thrower. I guess that's what I'm saying. So it kind of compensates for that with the maximum 650 lumen output, but you don't have a lot of throw in this thing. Yet for indoor use and for even outdoors use, you can use it quite nicely, but keep that in mind. If you want a big flashlight, you want a thrower, you want to have a proper reflector. But look at the size difference compared to even the G2, which is compact in its own right. So that's just crazy how they got this so to be so tiny. Folks, I'm gonna be leaving the links below for my books and for the flashlight. If you wanna buy it from Amazon, that's gonna be all. See you on our next video. Have an awesome day.